All right, so you know how you sent us that piece, Decoding the Hidden Job Market?
Yeah, the one about why just spraying and praying with applications doesn't work anymore?
Right, right. And honestly, it's like the timing couldn't be better with, how crazy the job market is these days. So in this deep dive, we really want to break down why that old way of applying to everything under the sun might be setting people up to fail. And then we're going to look at what this text suggests as a more strategic way to approach things.
Totally. So this piece really digs into this whole problem, right? Like it used to be you just send out as many resumes as possible, but the author's saying with how easy it is to apply online now, and especially with these new AI tools, it's just created this massive flood of applications.
Yeah, and it's like recruiters are drowning in them, which makes it so much harder to stand out, even if you are qualified. There's even this stat from Greenhouse's 2024 report, and it's kind of mind-blowing. 60%, a full 60% of applications could be for these, quote, ghost jobs,
Oh yeah, ghost jobs.
meaning the jobs don't actually exist, or the company isn't really hiring. And then, on top of that, nearly two-thirds of candidates are getting ghosted after interviews. Can you imagine going through all that effort and then just silence?
Yeah, it's pretty disheartening. I mean, think about it from the candidate's perspective. You have all these talented people, people who should be leading teams and making a real impact, and they're spending all this time and energy chasing after roles that might not even be real.
It's like they're stuck in this cycle of applying, hoping, getting ghosted, and feeling like they're not getting anywhere. It's really frustrating.
Absolutely. And that's where this whole idea of a, quote, strategic job search comes in. The author is basically drawing a line in the sand between that spray and pray approach and a more focused, targeted effort.
It's about being intentional, right? Not just sending out a million applications, but really thinking about where you want to go and how to position yourself to get there.
So the text dives into a few key elements of this strategic job search. And the first one, which is super important, is knowing your value proposition.
Yeah, like before you even start applying anywhere, you got to be able to answer the question, what do I bring to the table? What problems do I solve? And why am I the absolute best person to solve them?
Right. If you can't articulate that clearly and confidently, the author suggests you might not be quite ready for a strategic job search. It's like trying to sell a product without knowing what it does or why someone would want to buy it.
It just won't work, right?
Yeah.
You've got to be able to clearly communicate your value, your unique skills, and how you can make a difference for a company.
Exactly. And once you have that solid understanding of your value, then it's time to move on to the next step, which is curating a target list.
So instead of applying to every job posting you see, you're being much more selective, right?
Precisely. It's about identifying those companies that truly align with your strengths, your industry knowledge, your values, your leadership style. The author makes a really interesting point about actually stopping yourself from applying for roles that you wouldn't even be excited to accept if they offered them to you.
I love that. It's about recognizing your worth and not settling for just any opportunity. And it also ties directly into the next element, rehearsing for interviews.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. The text really emphasizes that you can't just wing it in interviews anymore, especially for leadership positions. You have to practice your storytelling, your answers to common questions, your overall presentation.
So you're saying it's not enough to just know the answers, you have to be able to deliver them in a compelling and engaging way.
Absolutely. The author even recommends practicing out loud, ideally with other people, so you can get feedback and really refine your message. It's like rehearsing for a play. The more you practice, the more confident and natural you'll be on the actual stage.
I like that analogy. And speaking of presentation, in today's world, your online professional presence is just as important as how you show up in person. And that brings us to the next element, upgrading your LinkedIn brand.
That's right. The author argues that your LinkedIn profile is often the first impression you make on potential employers. They're likely checking you out online even before they look at your resume. So it needs to be more than just a list of your past jobs. It should be a dynamic, engaging showcase of your skills, experience, and thought leadership.
So like a leadership storefront, as the text puts it.
Exactly. It should be attractive, informative, and up to date. You want people to see your profile and think, wow, I need to connect with this person, not, oh, another boring resume.
It's about standing out and making a memorable first impression. And then, to complement that online presence, the text also talks about crafting a future-facing resume.
This is where you shift the focus from simply listing what you've done in the past to highlighting where you're headed in your career and how you're prepared to take on future challenges.
It's like showing them a roadmap of your potential, not just a rear-view mirror of your past.
Precisely. You want to demonstrate your growth mindset, your ambition, and your ability to adapt and evolve in a rapidly changing world.
Hmm.
And then, once you've got that compelling resume and LinkedIn profile, the text moves into a really important area that I think a lot of people don't give enough attention to, developing a negotiation strategy.
Ah, negotiation. That can be tricky, but it's so crucial, especially for leadership roles where the stakes are higher.
Absolutely. The author emphasizes that you need to know your worth, what you're willing to accept, and what your walk-away number is.
Mhm.
That's the point where an offer just isn't good enough, and you're better off walking away.
It's about knowing your value and being confident enough to advocate for yourself. And the text makes it clear that leaders don't just passively accept offers, they actively shape them to create a win-win situation.
Exactly. Negotiation is a collaboration, not a confrontation. And finally, we come to the last key element of a strategic job search, which is, you guessed it, strategic networking.
Networking. It's become such a buzzword, but the text really emphasizes that it's not about just collecting connections or spamming people with your resume.
Right, it's about building genuine, mutually beneficial relationships with people in your field, people who can offer insights, advice, and potential opportunities. It's about being a valuable member of a community, not just someone who's constantly asking for favors.
The author even calls strategic networking a career superpower, which I love. It's
Hmm.
about using your network to open doors that you might not even see otherwise. So we've covered all these key elements of a strategic job search, but how do we know it actually works?
Well, that's where the text gets interesting. The author provides some evidence, some real-world examples of how this approach has helped people land leadership roles. They mentioned that recently over 15 of their clients have successfully secured leadership positions across various sectors like tech, product, and operations. And this is all happening in what everyone acknowledges is a really tough job market.
Pretty impressive, right? And they also point to their LinkedIn testimonials as further proof of their track record of success.
Yeah, those testimonials provide some social proof that this approach isn't just theoretical. It's actually helping people achieve their career goals. And the text also briefly mentions some of the key ingredients that contribute to that success, like understanding your unique position in the market, getting expert coaching, crafting compelling stories about your experience, reaching out to the right people, and executing your strategy effectively.
It's a combination of knowledge, skills, and support. And the piece concludes with a call to action, encouraging high-performing tech leaders who are ready to ditch the old spray and pray method and embrace a more strategic approach to reach out. While it's specific to their services, the underlying message resonates far beyond that. If you're feeling frustrated and stuck in the current job market, it's time to consider a new way of doing things.
It's about taking control of your career destiny, not just waiting for something good to happen. So, as we wrap up this deep dive into decoding the hidden job market, let's recap the key takeaway.
It all boils down to this. Relying solely on volume, on sending out a ton of applications, just isn't as effective as it used to be. The job market has changed, and a more focused, strategic approach is crucial for success.
It's about being intentional, thoughtful, and proactive in your job search.
So for you, the listener, as you think about everything we've discussed today, ask yourself, what's the one thing you can do differently? What's the one strategic element that can make the biggest impact on your job search right now?
Is it taking the time to really define your value proposition?
Or maybe it's revamping your LinkedIn profile to create that amazing leadership storefront.
Or perhaps it's finally getting serious about networking and building those valuable connections.
Whatever it is, take that first step. Shift your mindset from praying for the right opportunity to actively planning your next career move. And who knows, you might just unlock that hidden job market everyone's talking about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
We'll see you next time.
Sounds good.